Hey everyone, Spacious here, and I have a huge update to the ZF farm that I'd like to share with everyone, and there's just a ton to talk about here and a lot of info to go over. But before we get started, I just want to remind everyone to come and join the Discord using the link in the description. All the information you're about to see, we first discussed it in the Discord, so make sure to join so you can be a part of the discussion too. As always, there's a link to my Twitch in the description, and don't forget to like the video and also subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. I'd also like to shout out Vander X for coming up with most of the improvements to the farm. This guy hopped into ZF in the Discord and has just been innovating like crazy for a couple days now. So go check out his channel if you haven't already and drop him a sub and show him some love. So what Vander figured out is two different things. Firstly, a solution to the hex problem. Secondly, a way to boost people without them moving from the portal. These are huge upgrades to the ZF farm. Not only does it remove the inconsistency of surviving, but it also drastically increases the gold potential since now we can also boost. So let's talk about Hex first. The way to remove Hex is actually very simple. Nature Resist. Because Hex is a binary spell, the way resists work actually allows us to reduce the hit chance of Hex down to 2.5%. Previously with no NR, Hex had a 10% chance to hit. This means we no longer have to bring restorative potions just to do the farm. Instead, we can just wear Nature Resist up to a cap of 230 to reduce the probability that we're hexed. Me and a lot of the others in the Discord have completely eliminated Hex as a factor in the farm just because of NR. Let's take a quick look at my gear setup that I've been running. Here's a 70 upgrades page I made of my character just for farming ZF. For our Nature Resist, we're using the Wild Guard helm, chest, and legs, as well as the Natural Ward ring. These are epic BOEs that you can buy on the auction house. In my opinion, it's worth spending the money for them because ZF is a very good farm and you'll probably make the money back really quickly. It's still important to have enough spell power to get the mobs down while killing totems, so I think about 500 to 600 spell power is a pretty good range to shoot for. We're also looking for about 20% block, so our Colossus is still consistent. All the pieces are up to you, but as long as you hit these targets, you should be fine. One thing I do recommend as well is to use a Skull Flame shield during the kill phase and a Force Reactive Disc during the pulling. Using an FRD can make the pulls a lot smoother because sometimes aggroing the mobs in ZF can be annoying. The random zaps can pull mobs that you might have missed or can pull neutral mobs like the scarabs without having to dismount. We want to use Skull Flame for the kill phase because it can actually heal you during the hex. The chance you'll get hexed is very low, but Skull Flame could save your life through some bad RNG. Now I just want to show you the boosting spot. It's a small spot behind one of the first walls in ZF where the mobs can't run away, which is another awesome find by Vander. It's also small enough to easily target and kill the healing totems. From here, someone standing AFK at the portal is going to receive full experience. The only problem with the spot that I can find is that it can be difficult to get all the mobs into the little pit without using bubble because it's within LOS of the mobs most of the time. You can use some tricks to get the majority of them in, but I usually just roll the dice with Hex and use bubble early to pull them all into the pit. I'll show you how I've run using this spot might look later on. Now I want to show you what it would look like to do this when you're farming ZF solo. We can use both spots to make the run extremely quick. Using both the old spot and the new spot as well as Nature Resist, we can kill about 260 mobs in around 12 minutes with almost zero chance of death. These runs are absolutely crazy gold. I'm usually making anywhere between 75 and 110 gold per run, depending on my current price of Mage Weave and Vision Dust. During the pull, I swapped to my FRD to make pulling easier. The first pull here is going to be identical to how it was in my first ZF video. We'll pull all the mobs on the right half of the dungeon and grab about half of the zombies. Then we'll kill them in the spot behind the zombie graves. If you were going to boost some people, you would instead start by getting all the zombies and then doing this pull in reverse and end up at the new boosting spot. Not much has changed about this pull. The only thing that I might mention is that when you get to the scarabs, if you're using FRD, you can slow down and let the mobs hit you so that you get a chance to block, and then FRD will pull the scarabs without you dropping off of your mount. Our new nature resist gear makes the kill phase insanely easy. All we need to do is use our totem killing macro and strafe back and forth to make sure we get them all. Again, I'll put the macro in the description of this video. If you do get hexed, you can just bubble and heal up and then continue killing the totems. If you have enough nature resist, you shouldn't run into that problem too often, as the chance you get hexed is extremely low. Most runs I don't get hexed even one time. The second pull starts with opening the rest of the zombie graves and jumping on the ledge so that we can leave combat and mount up. We'll then pull the rest of the mobs in the dungeon, and instead of running back to this first spot, we're going to use the new kill spot. We do this because it's on the way out of the dungeon and it's near the entrance. That means once we're done with the second pull, we can just run right out and reset or go to gadget to sell. Again, there's not too much different with this pull from the original video. The only difference is at the end when we run to the front of the dungeon instead of back towards the graves. Now I'll show you what I do to get set up in the new kill spot. First, I like to pull the mob on the left here, and then we can jump from the mountain to the wall. You're going to hop over the little fire and continue to run to the first notch in the wall so that we can use it to LOS the mobs. This helps gather them all in one place. Once they're all gathered, I usually just jump into the pit and bubble. This is because mobs won't cast spells or use range attacks when you're in the bubble. If you don't do this, you're going to have a rough time trying to get every single mob into the pit with you at the same time. It is possible, but very annoying. And with the low chance of hex, I tend to just use bubble for gathering and hope for the best. If anything, when I get hexed, my Skullflame shield should be able to keep me up long enough to survive. The killing itself is identical. You'll need to run back and forth and spam the totem killing macro to get them down. Sometimes the mobs will die half underground and you have to loot them through the floor, but it doesn't seem like I've had any issues where I was unable to loot the mobs. After you get everything down and looted, you can just jump down from here and run out for your reset. If you want to boost someone, your first pull needs to start with the zombies. From here, you just do the pull in reverse and use the new kill spot for both pulls. It takes a little bit longer because there's just more traveling, but the experience seems pretty good. It needs a little bit further testing, but this level 41 in my group was getting about 37,000 experience per run. I think there's a lot of potential to sell this as a boost because the runs are usually quicker than Mara and it's comparable experience. I look forward to you guys joining the Discord and helping me test it out. So that's pretty much it for the update. This should make ZF a much easier and more consistent farm. I've been having a ton of success farming here, and in just a couple hours of farming, I made over 1,000 gold. I can't wait to see what you guys can do with it. Hopefully one of us gets one of those super rare BOE items that drop here. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.